Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of Let's Play Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior really. In the last part we got here to Garenham, and we're continue on in here. Now Garenham I didn't... there's some things I could do here, I just realized I could have gotten a copper sword for a lot cheaper here actually. Because I do get it in this part when level grinding. Yes, there's more of that. Now I only really came here though to really show you it as a landmark, because... we're gonna be going elsewhere here at this part, but you're gonna need to know what this is for later, so I figured why not show it. Now back here towards Tentacle Castle, and this is time for my second level grinding session. I'm strong enough now that I have the Hurt spell, which does in a damage range, to come down here, which I mentioned last part, to this bottom row, the Scorpion's Nest. You're in a different enemy domain right here, so you're gonna be fighting much stronger enemies. First off, the magicians, which have, let me look at this, which have around 13 HP, which is much higher than anything else we'd have encountered by this point. And these guys, as you can see, can do quite a number of damage. It's quite lethal, actually. And scorpions. Scorpions are probably the thing you're gonna be look at the most for, because these guys, they hurt, and I think they actually have that. Yeah, they do. They have the highest HP here at 20, and it's gonna be rather annoying to fight. Also, one thing I actually forgot to mention last part is that HP that you might find on like things like Mike's RPG Center and such, those are actually averages, because. The thing with Dragon Quest 1, I'm not sure if it holds on into 1, 2, and 3, because I haven't played those. First off, Magidraki, 15 HP. So be careful of that, and these guys can do some really powerful spells, but... enemy HPs have a range. They can range from, Magidraki's probably range from, like, 14 to 16, maybe 14 to 17. Not too aware, but it can be kind of weird. I think each different HP gives a different experience yield, but I'm not too sure, because, yet again, not too sure of it. And I level grinded to level 9, which was annoying, because I had to grind up to 1300 HP, XP from, like, less than 100. Oh, I was so tempted to use that Game Genie code. And I died along the way, too, which made me lose half my gold, which is why I'm only around 400 at this point. Anyway, now I want to head over here to across this bridge, which we're now in a much stronger enemy domain here. I think we're in... are we in the exact same enemy domain? I can't remember. And we're coming up on a mini dungeon here. This is I'm going to is completely optional. You don't need to come here whatsoever. And plus, the main reward here is actually bugged, so it only changes the line of dialogue, which is kind of annoying. Welcome to the... I'm forgetting this place's name, actually. Let me look at its name, I'm trying to remember. This is the... Mountain Cave. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, that the kingdom overall that we're in is Elfgard. I don't know why I'm taking until now to mention it, but I am. Anyway, a few seconds ago I found the... I believe I found it a few seconds ago, right? I can't really remember right now. Oh no, it's right, coming up. Coming up here, we're actually going to find something called the Fighter's Ring. It's supposed to boost your attack, if I remember correctly. And I believe it does work in the Game Boy Color version. That's another thing the Game Boy Color version fixed, a couple of bugs. But it doesn't work at all in this version. All it does is change a piece of dialogue, and Warlocks, the most annoying enemy in here. Now, if you're going in here a lot lower level than I am, like level 6 or so, I'd recommend you use the sleep spell, which he just used on me, ironically, to put him to sleep so you can get some good hits in, because these guys' spells hurt. In fact, a lot of the enemies in here are really tough if you're lower leveled. Warlocks, by the way, have around 30 HP. And the Radiant spell, which I got, by the way, as well, is pretty much a torch, except it has a much wider range. Torch is only light at 3x3, whereas this light's I want to say 5 by 5 area. which is a lot better. Anyway, Poltergeists have around 23 HP, and they have the hurt spell, so watch out for that. And also a lot of chests have a range of gold, and skeletons have around 30 HP, by the way. I highly recommend, and they actually have really high attack too, so I recommend you use sleep on them as well. In fact, I'm showing the sleep strategy right now. And Drakimas. Drakimas are a much more powerful version of the Drakian, well, Magic Draki, of course. They have approximately 20 HP, so they can be kind of troublesome. And here we have the final chest, which is just a bit of gold, 130, not that bad. And now it's time to cut out of here and back to Tentacle, and I grind into level 10 off screen. And then I got the stop spell, which prevents foes from using any magic spells, which is going to be very useful against some boss fights. Why am I taking so? Oh, there we go. And now that we're done there, we want to head on over to the northeast of Tentacle Castle, and cross this bridge, so we can head on over to the eastern half of the continent, or is this an entirely different continent? By the way, one thing I'm showing off here is that once you're strong enough, enemies will start running away from you, which can be kind of helpful actually, although it can get annoying during grinding. I know it is during my final grind fest. Oh, there's actually a town we can go to right now, and we'll be going to that very shortly. But first off, I want to head on over to the west here and show off one of our long-term goals. If you remember correctly, the last part when we got the tablets, it said to find 3 items, and in here is actually one of the 3 items we need to get. However, there's an old man blocking the way, as usual in RPGs. And to get the Staff of Rain, I want to say, yes, you need the Silver Harp, which actually, I'm going to say this right now, I'll mention it again later, but when you actually find the Silver Harp, you can use it to attract enemies, which can be fairly useful. But we can't really do anything here now, I just wanted to show it so you know where we were going, where we would go later. I believe that place is called the Shrine of Holy, but I might just be imagining it. Let's just call that the Shrine of Rain. Anyway, now that we're done there, we want to head on over to this town over here. This is Call. Now, there are some people you can talk to in here that tell you what the next town is, and since it's been a while since I last played this game, maybe 3 years, because I did have the Game Boy Color version at one point or another. I don't remember where anyone is in this. I remember there's an item you can get in this town that's 4 steps south of the bath in this town that we're gonna need a little later. But, in fact, I think it's on the square one right now, actually. Nestor. For those who don't know, Nestor was a comic in the original Nintendo Power issues. Actually, I believe people who had a subscription to Nintendo Power got this for free. Yeah. I was close to it, but, in this town, we need to find people who can tell us about Remolder, which is the next town. We don't need to talk to them to go there, but I'm trying to make some amount of plot to it, because the original Dragon Quest doesn't have that good of a plot. It's rather bare bones. Dragon Quest 2 and 3, from what I've heard, are a lot better about that. Heck, I know 3 is. I played through it. Hawksness, that's a place we're gonna want to keep in mind for later. Now, actually, the full plate armor is going to be a long-term goal for me, because I'm going to need to do that. Also, I forgot to mention, when I grinded till level 10, I also bought the copper sword off screen, which is quite useful. And you can go over that swamp tiles, by the way, which we're going to be encountering later, to talk to that old man, but I don't feel like taking damage. And of course, the southern places always have more powerful islands. Oh lord, fighting an island, that'd be powerful. That'd be kind of more powerful monsters. I think it's been like that since the original. Actually, this was really the original role-playing game, wasn't it? There's either this or some other thing. Also, the reason that this is called Dragon Warrior in America originally, the first 3 games were at least, and Dragon Quest in Japan, is because at the time, a tabletop game called Dragon Quest here in America. And due to copyright, they weren't able to really call it that. However, ever since then, that company is shut down, so they're able to call it Dragon Quest with no problem. Anyway, up here, we saw these in Call, but here, these are swamp tiles. They're the first hazard tile in the game. For every step you take in them, you take 2 damage. We'll get an eye on that and negate this later on, but for right now, we're gonna have to suffer through it. And welcome to the Swamp Cave. There's something we can do here, actually, for later, but that's later, and there's a really powerful boss monster here that I cannot recommend you fight whatsoever right now. Go down, just head south, don't go to the east. Don't go through any of those eastern caverns, just head south. Anyway, right here we have a Druid, which have roughly 22 HP, and give 70 XP. They don't have any spells, but they're powerful nonetheless. They also have really weird animations, and later forms of them in the later games get just downright annoying. Heck, a form of them we'll see later in this game, Druid Lords, are rather powerful as it is. I'm not gonna enjoy fighting those guys. Yeah, deserts have the exact same counter rate of 1 in 8 that hills do. Forests have only 1 in 16, I believe. I haven't checked. Anyway, we're gonna have to end this off here as soon as I enter the town of Remolder. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.